Hey there, everybody. My name's Katie, and I'm a meteorologist at the National Weather Service out of Atlanta, and this is our weekly weather briefing for Thursday, October 24th. So our talking points for this week: rain chances will be returning this weekend and will continue into early next week as our next cold front pushes into north and central Georgia and then stalls out as it meets up with a lot of moisture from the Gulf. That said, there is also a medium potential for tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico in the next 5 days. We'll talk a lot about that and how it'll impact our rain chances this weekend. There is a low potential for severe weather through the next 3 days. And with our recent rains, we actually have had some improvements to drought conditions across north and central Georgia. So that's certainly good news. That said, overall drought conditions of some form still are continuing across the state. As far as high and low temperatures through early next week, they'll be trending above normal. Here's a look at our current conditions, visible satellite true color image here, a nice loop, grabbed it around 11:50 this morning. We have some high and mid-level clouds streaming in across central Georgia, and the kind of frontal boundary and all the clouds you see from Texas through Oklahoma, up through Missouri into Illinois, Indiana. That's kind of the organizing system that will be our cold front, our main weather maker as we head into the weekend. But for a lot of us today, it'll be beautiful and dry here across Georgia with mostly sunny skies and again some mid and high level clouds. Things will change as we head into tonight. Our chance of rain begins to go up overnight, with the darker green being chances of 40 to 50%, and mostly the rain will be focused most likely across the western portion of the state as low-level moisture begins to increase, and that will set the stage for what a lot of us here in the office have been calling just kind of a gross day tomorrow. Rain chances will be increasing more so as we head throughout the day, with chances of 70–80% across portions of western, northwestern Georgia, and the rain chance also fills in more to the east across the eastern portion of the state. That wet pattern continues as we go through Saturday. Here's a weather map. That textured green pattern is rain and thunderstorm possibilities, and you can see the culprit for the rain is a low pressure system, the one that we saw in that visible satellite loop that's organizing now across the plains. Well, by Saturday, that will have moved off toward the east a little bit. And you'll also notice in the Gulf of Mexico an area of low pressure showing up there along the cold front. That will be helping us get that funneling of moisture across Georgia, and that low pressure in the Gulf is actually what is currently an area of interest that the National Hurricane Center is watching. So that orange X there in that kind of hatched area is where they're keeping an eye on further development. They have the chance around 50% or a medium chance that this system will become tropical in some nature. However, like that other weather map was showing, that system, whether it's tropical or not, the big takeaway is that it's this big area of moisture and it's going to merge with that cold front that's sweeping across the eastern half of the United States, and that'll happen by late Friday. So that will really prevent that system in the Gulf from becoming anything beyond a tropical depression. So rainfall, we certainly need more. We haven't chipped away as much as we might like at the drought. So for the next 3 days, we're going to see pretty significant rain totals, more so in the portions of North Georgia, where rainfall totals will range from 1 to 2 inches, and then across metro Atlanta and points a little north-south around that area, 1/4 inch to 1 inch, and Macon, Columbus, Dublin, locations south, rain totals a little bit lesser, maybe amounting to about 1/4 inch over the next 3 days. So the purples showing the greater rainfall that the portions of North Georgia and the North Georgia mountains will see, those are co-located with the possibility for excessive rainfall in the light green there. And around this time of year, it's good to remember that we're through with the summer. Leaves are beginning to fall off the trees. So leaf litter and other natural debris that's accumulated over the summer can clog drainage systems, which can lead to nuisance flooding even during not so heavy rainfall that might not otherwise cause flooding. So a good reminder to make sure drainage systems are nice and clear as we get these fall rainstorms moving through. So taking it from 3 days to 7-day rainfall totals, we're going to see more as we go into the early part of next week. So when it's all said and done, in a week, rainfall totals will range from 1/4 of an inch to an inch across southern portions of our forecast area. Metro Atlanta and surrounding areas, 1 inch to 1.5 inches, and North Georgia, some spots up to 3 inches. And as always with rainfall forecast, they're subject to change as the forecast itself evolves, and also with storms that kind of train over one area for a while or produce just really efficient rainfall. Locally, higher amounts are always possible. So we mentioned at the start that the severe weather threat is low for the next 3 days. The only day right now that the Storm Prediction Center has a mention for some general, likely non-severe thunderstorms would be Saturday as that cold front moves through. So all the talk about rain, and it seems a little ironic, but yes, we still do have drought across much of the state, though there has been really good improvement. So the larger map on the left is the drought monitor that is the most updated for this week. You'll notice that the areas of red have decreased a lot across Atlanta and Metro Atlanta. That's a decrease in the extreme drought. And the orange, or the D2 severe drought, has also decreased a good bit. So putting that all in perspective for the our Atlanta forecast area, the area covered by D2 and D3 conditions has decreased over the last week from 82.9% of our area to only 41.5% being covered by D2 and D3. So certainly an improvement there, and we look forward to the rain that is to come to help us chip away at the drought more. For those with fire weather concerns, here's a look at relative humidity and maximum wind gust for today. Minimum relative humidities will range from around 35 to 50%, with those greater 50% values across our southern counties. And for maximum wind gust, only about 5 to 15 miles per hour throughout the day. As far as where temperatures are headed in the next week, kind of a roller coaster. Today into tomorrow, a lot of areas will see either similar high temperatures today and tomorrow, or even a dip as cloud cover tomorrow with the rain will likely keep temperatures pretty cool. But heading into the weekend and into next week, overall temperatures will at least be at normal to even above normal. So for Atlanta, that spells out mid-70s this weekend heading into Monday. Blairsville, a little cooler up there in the higher elevations, so 60s and low 70s. Macon and Columbus staying pretty warm with high temperatures around 80 this weekend, falling to the 70s in the middle of next week. Looking ahead to the next 6 to 10 days for temperature, you can see where the colder air is kind of confined. It's the central part of the country, whereas along the eastern seaboard and including most of Georgia, the Climate Prediction Center is expecting temperatures to overall probably trend at least a little bit above average. But good news is that they are also expecting precipitation to be above average in the next 6 to 10 days. So this is certainly good news again as we are waiting for more rounds of rain to hopefully cut down on the drought. So in summary, we talked about rain chances returning this weekend and continuing into early next week as our cold front on the way meets up with that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and then stalls out. So that will bring some waves of rainfall for the next 5 days or so. There is a medium potential for tropical development for that system in the Gulf, but that cold front will likely prevent it from becoming anything more than a tropical depression. There is a low potential for severe weather for the next 3 days, and with the recent rainfall, improvements to drought conditions have happened across north and central Georgia, but we still, of course, know that we are still in some form of a drought or at least abnormally dry conditions across the state, so we'll need more rainfall to really put a dent in the drought for good. And we talked about temperatures heading into the next week. They'll at least be at normal, for many of us above normal. So as always, we welcome you to connect with us. Our phone number is listed there, and the briefing materials, both in PowerPoint and PDF form, will be on our briefing page with the website right there. You can always find our forecast graphics and forecast discussions and local forecast, all that good stuff at our website. And we always enjoy connecting with everyone on our Twitter and Facebook pages. And the recording of this briefing will be posted on YouTube here in the next hour and a half or so. So with that, I thank everybody. And here in a couple moments, we will see if you guys have any questions for us. Thanks so much.